boy, let me tell you about this bad motherfucker over here, man. Dude so bad that, let me see, big hero of mine over here.
Got that right.
Big hero of mine. Try to turn everybody on from the first to the last. They give it the blast so fast that your life is past before your ass has even hit the grass. Damn, boy, who you talking about?
Let's bring Dolemite to the screen.
The actors we hire, you're a bit doughier than them.
Doughier?
I have to sell this shit in dtmerch.com. The only thing clear is that classic black tee with the white logo. Along with the other logos, that colored logo, that neon logo, the Joysies. We're getting them shoes up in here pretty soon. Ooh. And that will be October 18th for Double Toasted live in Los Angeles. And we will be there with a night of comedy, some interaction, some games, and you know we got to mess with y'all in the audience. Going to roast a little bit. Learn that from that little bit of poetry from Mr. Rudy Ray Moore.
Rudy Ray Moore.
A.K.A. Dolemite. A.K.A. the Human Tornado.
That's right.
A.K.A.
The Human Tornado.
Tornado. First one you ever showed me.
A.K.A. Disco Godfather.
Avenging Disco.
Avenging Disco. A.K.A. Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law.
That was the first one. That was
oh, my God. I can go on and on, man. This man, you know, movies based on all of these characters that he's created at a time when nobody thought that he could even last 5 minutes on stage telling jokes. He went from that guy to what some people call the Godfather of rap. What I know him from are his movies. And we'll let you know more about these movies as soon as we get into this review of this film called My Name is Dolemite. Now, before we do that, we're getting out a little bit, but the thing I love about this guy is that he did what he loved right up until the end. No matter how crazy people thought it was, no matter what kind of criticism that people gave it, he did what he loved. And believe me, the shit was crazy.
You want some Sholan Dolemite? Hong Hao, Sing Tong Tong Wong Tong Wong, Chow Wow Wow, Lucia, Ulu Chao.
Ain't kind of racist too.
Is that later Dolemite movie he made?
Yeah.
he looks old as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Shaolin Dolemite. Yeah, Shaolin Dolemite. I mean, the guy, he didn't care. He didn't care about, no matter how much of a fool he made of himself or the kind of nonsense and gibberish he talked. He knew he loved a few things. He loved comedy, he loved titties, and he loved karate.
Rise, mother.
That's become one of my new favorite lines right there. Rise, motherfucker, rise.
Look ugly. Is that what it is?
It's like a wizard that just couldn't get his power.
Right.
Rise, motherfucker, rise.
I thought he was talking to his dick for a second.
Rise. But yeah, man. I know that's kind of a long clip, but I had to show you because I get caught up. I'm gonna get caught up a few times in this review. But you gotta understand that it's easy for me to get caught up because it's a combination of not only one of my heroes, Rudy Ray Moore, but also another big hero of mine in comedy, which is Eddie Murphy. Everybody, I mean, nobody's faulting my man, but there's a certain Eddie Murphy that people want back. There's a certain Eddie Murphy that people have never seen before that people have been hoping to see for a long time. And with this movie, Dolemite is My Name. It is the combination of two of some of the greatest out there. And yes, I do put Rudy Ray Moore up in there. And I think this movie wants to explain why. But, having these two legends together in one film, the Dolemite story or Rudy Ray Moore story, and Eddie Murphy playing Rudy Ray Moore, the legendary Rudy Ray Moore, is that probably is it too good to be true? My expectations too high? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer.
Whatever it takes, I'm ready to do it. I got to be totally outrageous.
It's filthy. You've got a product here that you can't sell.
They say based on a true story, and in Hollywood terms, that don't mean a goddamn thing.
That mean a goddamn thing.
Shit. Y'all might as well be watching Shrek.
Watch Donkey playing the role.
Yeah, yeah, because the shit. Look, yeah, they say it's a biopic. We know that don't mean a goddamn thing in Hollywood today when they say based on a true story or based on a biopic. No, Hollywood gonna make up shit to entertain. This movie does so even more. They say it's a biopic, but this is definitely more of a comedy. And look, they know that. They are here to make you laugh. This is not to give a history lesson. You come in talking about accuracy, what the fuck is that? Don't facts? You ain't getting up in this club with facts.
Yeah.
Fact, turn around. What is this, a piece of factual history? Get the out of here with this.
I always wonder how these, just how they made these movies. Well, keep on wondering.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to find out.
You know what? You want to know? There's the goddamn internet. Because we ain't going to tell you. You better hope you find a documentary or something, because you ain't going to find that here. Like I said, I'm a huge fan, and people who are around me, they, by virtue of myself, they are huge fans. Because I've shown this shit to them so many times against their will.
Corey, can we be friends? Yes, but first you have to sit down and watch this
Yeah.
shit.
On the head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like that clockwork on
Yeah.
Got you.
Corey, I don't know if I like. No, you keep watching.
Yeah. People who have just met me have woken up in my bedroom just watching these movies. I'm not gonna rape you. I'm just gonna rape your eyes. I know these movies backwards and forwards, man. I've seen them numerous times. So if you're like me, you're gonna watch it. And what the movie's supposed to be is how he made it with his recordings. I mean, how he made it on vinyl, which led to him making the movie that really made him known around the world, which is Dolemite.
Breathing down your neck. I put my finger in the ground and turn the whole world around.
Jumped in the trunk.
That truck! He did. He just rolled over into it.
Yeah. No,
We're talking about taking a dive.
no, that's the fun thing about it. Like Rudy Ray Moore is kicking so slow that the victims got impatient. He's like, you know what, just shit, shit. Shit, I ain't got all day.
See how slow the white dude tries to punch him too in the suit.
Yeah, it's so if you're watching this movie, you're gonna see scenes that they're shooting. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, that wasn't in Dolemite, and that's because what they've done is they've as some biopics are known to do, they consolidate.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they've taken two movies and combined them into one for the making of Dolemite. Of course, they show the making of Dolemite, but then they show you scenes that they've taken from another movie, The Human Tornado.
He made me do it.
Bitch, are you for real? Burn the rubber, because we're going to deal with that trick.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, wait, isn't that from the Human Tornado?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
No, they combine two movies. Look, I always get on people about breaking momentum and slowing things down, but I found something today I got to share with y'all. If y'all ever watched The Human Tornado, watch that and then go back and watch it in German. they got a German version out there, and I'd seen this. Yeah, I'd seen this a long time ago. They dubbed it over in
Okay.
German.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. What?
And I gotta tell you, I forgot that this was out there, and y'all have to watch this. I'm just telling you this because I saw it and I laughed so hard. It's like watching Hitler on LSD.
Sounds like somebody retching in the bathroom, like throwing up.
Yeah, get that man a bucket.
Signature move. But I don't know how when movies say that they're based on real people, how much you want to go in and see that, and how much it bothers you if it's not following that history to a T. But I would tell you that I think that this is more as a way to be a tribute to Rudy Ray Moore.
Yeah.
That's what it's meant to be a tribute to Rudy Ray Moore, and it's meant to like introduce new people to his material through comedy. But that I'm gonna pass this on to Martin, because the thing about this being a comedy, that is something that could fail. just making this more of a comedy, ignoring facts. If this wasn't so funny, man, this thing for me it is never not funny. Even though it might not be 100% factual, even 50%, you know, it's still the humor in it. You know, for myself who loves these movies and who loves this man's humor, it captured the fine-tuned vulgarity of his comedy. And if you know the material, if you know this man, if you know his stuff, his history, then the humor fits. The writing here fits what he does. But if you don't know it, it feels like just how a bunch of friends would talk. There are moments where, yeah, they might be vulgar, they might be foul-mouthed, but they talk like people you've heard.
Well, you do like everybody in the cast and all the characters.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of what makes this movie work. Yeah, I found it entertaining entirely. And I think a key word in what you just said before is that you said, this is really funny, or it works for me. And you being somebody who is a super fan, a lot of it is tailored for you. And while I'm not a super fan, I am a big fan. And I kept trying to look at this from the eyes of, okay, I'm laughing because some of it is just genuinely funny, and some of it is touching on stuff that I know.
Yeah.
You know, or sometimes it's recreating scenes from like, oh yeah, I love that, and it's reminding me of that. I was never at a point where I could really honestly judge how this would work for somebody who comes in fresh and doesn't know anything about it. Eddie Murphy never became Rudy Ray Moore for me. He was always just a separate version of Eddie Murphy that was trying to do that, but I reconcile with that. It was like, all right, well, I still like this character he's doing, so it's fun to go with it. The big standout, at least for me, was Wesley Snipes as Durval Martin, who just kept stealing every scene he was in.
You can excuse this for characters being exaggerated.
Yeah.
Even probably one note, because if they're exaggerating one note, then that'll probably work for some people who don't know these characters or these people. And even when they're, you know, it's entertaining enough to where, yeah, if you even if you do know, it's just you can let it slide. You can excuse that because they are being entertaining, and it is being more comedic. And Martin, you brought up the person that Wesley Snipes played. That's why you look at somebody like Wesley Snipes, who plays in the movie a guy named Durval Martin, who played Willie Green, the villain, in Dolemite. And you watch Wesley Snipes in this role. And when I say that he's one note, he really is a one note character.
Action. Hold it, Dolemite.
Now I want you to know.
You drive a truck.
Yeah. Now I want you to notice something with Durval Martin was the director of Dolemite. Now I want you to watch him, because we know that Wesley Snipes can act, and you know Wesley Snipes has, you know, I mean, he might always be Wesley Snipes, but he has some range. But Wesley Snipes in here, he has one method of acting, and that is the "oh honey" method of acting. He's supposed to be straight, but he's very feminine, and he bucks his eyes, and he purses his mouth, and everything is delivered in an inflection of "oh honey."
And anytime he's not talking, he's drinking.
And he's drinking, yeah. So if you notice that is all he does in the movie.
How was that?
I see no reason to do it again.
Was it good as Shaft?
You know some shit is bad when somebody can't even muster up a sure.
Yeah, right.
All they can do is just buck their eyes and just like,
Right.
If my mouth opens up, I'm gonna have to tell the truth. I'm just gonna look at him until he walks away. And you know what's cool about this though is that while we're talking about it might not be authentic when it comes down to the story. They did technically try to recreate some things from those films, the things that we've seen before, like the house that they're having to fight in front of. That looks just like the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It might be the house. Now it's easy to look at some of the characters, especially of Wesley Snipes in this, and look at it and and think that it's not taking these characters seriously, that it's perhaps, mocking them in a way.
No, and he doesn't come in until late in the film.
Well, with anything in this movie, like I said, you look at it and you think like because it has a very comedic tone that it's not taking his characters seriously, that it's making fun of them, it's mocking them, sort of like it did with Tommy Wiseau and his crew in Disaster Artist.
When I get up on stage in front of people, all I can think about is what if they laugh at me? But you, man, you're fearless. I want to feel that too.
I don't care. I'll do it.
Now, the thing with Tommy Wiseau, no matter how polite that movie might try to be or how nice and respectful, you can't look at Tommy Wiseau without saying, this motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I mean, yes, Tommy Wiseau, I respect him. He's determined and he's confident, but a lot of that comes from insanity. A lot of that comes from
consequences of his
yeah. But this movie is not mocking Rudy Ray Moore. These are not targets of ridicule here. Rudy Ray Moore he's never delusional. I mean, he knows himself and he knows what he likes and he wants to see that on screen. It's never like, and somebody even tell him, they're like, say, hey man, you could possibly lose everything. And he's like, he knows the consequences. He says, yeah, I know, but I got to believe in myself. He believes in his vision and he knows what he likes and he thinks that he knows what everybody else likes. And apparently he was right, what he was thinking. In effect, what happens here is that this happens to all the characters here. Just happen to be a big family where they all believe in the same vision and they support each other.
I won't call them delusional, but they're quite naive about what they're doing or the quality of the work they're doing.
Yeah, they jump into.
I mean, even Rudy is like, well, hey, if Fred Williamson and Jim Brown can be action stars, why not me? And it takes somebody going like, well, I mean, look at you, dude.
Well, there's moments here where he comes in, and he just tells people right off the bat, he's like, I don't know nothing about this shit.
Yeah.
He's
sure.
like, I don't know anything about it. That's why I called you guys, and I just know I want to get something done. And really what that does is it makes these characters real people at certain points in the movie. It makes them, it really makes moments where you feel for the characters. You feel the struggle of these characters. And there's a character here, again, I say character, but these are based on real people. Lady Reed, Queen Bee. In the movie, she's played by Divine Joy Randolph. And the scene that she has here with when she first meets Eddie Murphy as Rudy Ray Moore, it's a scene where it's funny. They got a good bit going on, some good back and forth, but it's also a really tender scene too.
What would I do?
I'm not really no pimp. It's all pretend. You put on a cape and turn into a superhero. Leave the real you behind, go on stage.
Magic, huh?
When I look at that right there, I say, man, I agree with you because I saw the same thing, and that's one of the things I said from the trailer. When I was looking at this, I said, maybe I know Rudy Ray Moore a little too well, but every time I see this, I'm like you. I said, that is Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
With an afro wig on.
Yeah, when doing squinching his eyes like this,
doing his hands like this,
doing the gap smile.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy do certain things like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he always talking like this.
Kind of go up like that.
See, that's why I do the wig. See.
Yeah. Squinting his eyes. No, you got squinting his eyes, showing.
I mean, it
his
doesn't
teeth.
help, having watched all of the Rudy Ray Moore movies and having met him and hung out with him a little bit.
I haven't watched a bunch of Eddie Murphy movies.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a movie about a guy, as we said in this, as he said in this clip right here. This is a movie about a guy that has created on-stage personas. And now that Eddie Murphy's older, he's become more comfortable not hiding behind extreme personas. If you watch any Eddie Murphy movies out there, you'll notice a pattern where there's two Eddie Murphys going on. If Eddie Murphy is just playing Eddie Murphy, no makeup, anything, he's kind of having to be the leading man role. Even in certain movies where he's wild, he's got to be charismatic guy, the sexy guy, the suave guy, you know, and as he went on, he became that even more. Now Eddie Murphy really don't cut loose unless he's under a shitload of latex.
Right.
Professor Klump was one of the most was one of the most endearing and emotional characters and honest characters that he's ever played.
You don't see him in there at all.
No, and he's under a ton of latex. For him to actually give you an honest performance. I believe that as Eddie Murphy, as he has gotten older, Eddie Murphy has tried to actually be more sincere without all the makeup. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
I think if you watch Eddie Murphy today, Eddie Murphy is not as young as he is. He's realized he's gotten older, and now he's got a wife and kids. It's like, I don't have to go out there. I'm a legend. I don't prove myself that much anymore. I can be honest. I can give an honest performance. That's why and he's trying to concentrate on acting. That's why I will always defend him in a movie that I did not like at all. But I did see what he was trying to do. And it was Mr. Church. Yeah. Mr. Church was actually a God-honest and very moving performance. What turned out to be, for him, yeah, it wouldn't turn out to be a kind of a shitty movie.
Where do you go when you aren't with us? Do you have a girlfriend?
Okay, now that's enough.
All right, just tell me what your house looks like, or tell me who your best friend is. Come on, just tell me who your best
You brought that on yourself.
I'm sorry, but I told you about Steve Falcon, bitch. That one hurt. That hurt me more than hurt you.
Don't you know when to back off? Enough.
You know, that was, that's one of the more dramatic scenes in the movie, but throughout the film, I thought he was actually very good. And since that was one of the most dramatic scenes, there were scenes where he was more subtle, and that's where his performance really spoke. Even though this might be Eddie Murphy, seeing him actually be kind of a little more subdued, actually delivering very emotional scenes, very tender scenes, like I said, because there are moments in here where he really is just talking. It sounds like Eddie Murphy just talking. And sometimes it sounds like that character just talking. I think that this is one of his best performances to date.
I mean, he's carrying the film. It's all about him, and you do like him. Yeah, I like I said, I accept him for who he is. He's not Rudy Ray Moore, but whatever, you know, what he's doing with it works. You know what it is that he ever so often has a moment where he gets real with some other character. With Keegan-Michael Key, they talk about both coming from Arkansas, and when it comes down to them talking about that, he breaks it down. He gets real. It's not sticky at all.
See, that's what I saw a lot of in the movie. I saw a lot of moments where he was just breaking. Yeah. You know, he would just talk to people. Yeah, and the dialogue felt natural. It didn't feel like it was that rhythm of fake movie dialogue. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. I mean, yeah, people don't see Eddie Murphy to the point where they don't see a fine performance. I guess I'm one of the people that do, and I get it that people don't. And the rest of the cast is good, too. We're talking about Michael Keegan Key. He plays Keegan. I always f*** up his name. Why don't he be like
just like Key on the front, Key on the end.
Okay, Keegan-Michael Key.
See, you got it. By Jove, I think you've got it.
Be like Jordan Peele. Just have two names, man. Quit confusing people. Yeah, he plays Jerry Jones. He was it's funny because they couldn't. It's a joy to see them together in the movie because you got Rudy Ray Moore, who's a streetwise hustler, and then you got this guy who's a theater major, who's trying to write about the experiences of the street so he can change. And Rudy Ray Moore's like, oh, that man, we just want to put some kung fu in there. Let's entertain people. Well, I want to tell people about the suffering in the street. Man, put some titties in there. That's what people want to see.
Put the suit
That's
on.
the only truth you need.
Well, when they first get together, there's such a clash of ideas. I was like, yeah, this shit is not going to work. And somehow they managed to work it out. Yeah. Which was a joy to see.
Yeah. There's a lot of good performances in here from everybody else, too. I mean, I think that this is a solid cast. Right down to people that are not getting a whole lot of attention in the movie, because I'm looking at some of the people that you probably already seen. Kodi Smit-Mcphee, child actor. The Road. Yeah, that's right. He was in The Road. Yeah. Yeah, he's grown up. But, he's a minor character that no one's really talking about. Some of the other people in here that you've seen, I already told you that this actress here, Divine Joy Randolph, very good. Titus Burgess.
Yeah, Titus Burgess.
him and Eddie Murphy got along well on screen.
Yeah, they did.
Man. They spend a lot of time together. Mike Epps as Jimmy Lynch. First of all, he makes a good. You know, there's enough similarity right there.
Oh, yeah,
they just never gave him the big afro. But Mike Epps is going to be Mike Epps.
No, Mike Epps is funny.
Some great cameos in here that we can't even mention. But there's a lot of people that they're not even promoting that pop up in the movie. And the only person I think doesn't really get a whole lot to do. Who do you think I'm going to say?
Snoop Dogg?
Nah, because that's more. They show that cameo in there, and he's just meant there to be kind of a cameo. I'm thinking of Craig Robinson, man.
Oh, well, he gets to do all the music stuff.
That's true.
I mean, he gets a lot of musical. He gets about 3 musical numbers.
I didn't even think of it that way. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the one that he's like from the club at first. He's singing the theme song. He does something else in there.
I guess because I'm thinking, you know, I saw him on stage singing. I guess when I see him acting with the rest of the people,
because when you first see him at the club, he's the headliner.
Yeah.
That Rudy is opening for. You just think, okay, that's his one spot, but then he's part of the crew the whole time.
Yeah, no, I knew he would be part of the crew. I just, you know, what I saw with him is that as far as when he had speaking roles and whatnot, everybody seemed to have more or have more to do. I'm not saying he's bad.
No, I mean, he had at least as much as Titus Burgess did.
I guess, yeah. I guess I see Craig Robinson as somebody who's like, you know, he's a comedic actor.
Right.
He didn't have a whole lot of funny
Well,
stuff.
he's always more. He's a comedic actor, but he's always more low key.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely low key here, which is fine. You know, I don't mind that. This is directed by Craig Brewer, the guy. Actually, Craig Brewer. He did a movie very similar to this, Hustle and Flow.
Right.
You know, looking at Hustle and Flow. Hustle and Flow had for me had more of a natural feel to it. Maybe because it was more of a drama. You know, this one doesn't have. When I say this, I'm talking about Dolemite is my name. It doesn't have as much of a natural feel to it. I mean, it definitely does. You know, it has. When you watch this, it has more of a. I would even say at some points. I'm not going to say exactly TV quality, but it does have somewhat more of a lower budget quality to it. And I'm gonna even tell you that most of the time that's not bad, but there are times where it feels like it was kind of rushed, where it adds that cheaper feeling quality. There's a point where they have an over-the-shoulder shot of Wesley Snipes, and it would be fine if his head wasn't turned towards us, but there's a moment where he starts talking, and that mouth don't give a it don't move at all.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is there. They don't even try to cover that up.
That's true.
I'm like, man, that is just bad editing. I'm telling you, man, like I said, movie always had me smiling. I don't think there was one part, and I'm not even talking about smiling because I'm a fan of this guy. I was smiling because I was genuinely entertained. They always say something funny here, man. If they're not cracking an intentional joke, they just talking like Negroes talk. You know what I'm saying? One dude, somebody said something. It just came out of nowhere. He just said one line, and then Eddie Murphy like, "Oh, don't nobody want to hear all that mess now. We trying to have a party." Right. You know, it was
involving that party. Right?
It was just like, man, we've been to functions where people talk like that.
Ain't much want to hear all this shit, man.
Yeah, come on now. Ain't nobody want to hear all that mess early, man.
Yeah, you come here getting all serious.
And you know, they don't have that fake moment where it's like, oh, you know, this, I'm so down. How am I gonna come up? They never really have that in there, man.
Yeah, they did.
But it doesn't. No, well, they have that moment in there, but it doesn't feel like these movies where it's at that moment where, you know, oh, we have to make the audience feel like this person's so low so they can cheer for them more at the end. When it happened here, it happened where it was like, yeah, we kind of saw this shit coming. You know,
we already know the history of it.
Well, it was just like, okay, this what you were doing here and the way you're going about it. Of course, you're gonna hit this point. I mean, come on, ain't no way around that. So it felt natural to lead up to it. And as I said here, I think that this is, you know, like I said, people disagree, but I do really feel like this is this is Eddie Murphy's best performance to date with me. I know that this is going to be on Netflix on October 25th, but I mean, so you know, it seems like you would give that a rental just because you don't have to go anywhere to see it. But as far as a rating goes and a grade, I would give this a full price, just because it was that entertaining to me.
Okay.
I find it highly entertaining myself. I smile from beginning to end. Good performances all around. It was fun to go back down this road. I would give it a very high matinee, and I don't go full price in as much as it's formulaic.
It's because of that formula. I think why it would work for for audiences who don't know Rudy Ray Moore?
I mean, they can still enjoy it. But there's still a certain lack.
See, the only thing I think with that is that it's like something like The Disaster Artist or anything where we've seen people trying to struggle to get something made. You know, you don't have to know the material. You don't have to know the person, because all you have to know is that they're trying to create something. Yeah. And they have a struggle to do it. And you root for them to succeed, and when they do, you feel celebratory.
Like I don't know that they won't. I just wonder.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wonder, but that's why I would recommend it, because I would think like, yeah, it's the typical rag to riches story, or the road to success story. It's something that we've seen when it's done well, as we've seen with most biopics. It's tried and true.
I mean, you can't get one of these without somebody who has a dream to do something, and somebody else who's a gatekeeper saying like, no, this will never work. You can never do this. And I'm saying, well, I believe in myself, and we'll see. Yeah, no,
and that's what this is, man.
I think you just said the trailer just now.
I mean, it's everything. Like I think the Bohemian Rhapsody. It's like, we want to release Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh no, you can never do that. It's like,
yeah,
all right.
But nobody got to those gates like Rudy Ray Moore did. Move, move! Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate that. Since you made it to the end of the video, you like us that much, you're not going anywhere, you might as well hit that subscribe button, get notifications from us, and go check out our main site, doubletoasted.com, where you'll find more of us in the form of longer videos such as this one that are uncensored, unedited, and the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com. And remember, if absolutely nothing else, you have to remember this: stay toasty.